she's so scared she won't come out. In new places. Right. Okay. So she really doesn't want to come out, right?
Yeah.
So
She's not great at walking now, so we went to the park this morning and then we walked with 3 dogs that she's friends with. Because I love your training because I love the power of the pack. So it got her to walk around the block and go a little bit because her friends were with her.
Sure.
But then as soon as we got close to home, they started veering one way and she just wanted to go home.
Right.
So it's good that she can walk. She walked, so she didn't walk the first maybe week or 2 that I had her. Then the next week or 2, I could coax her into walking a couple blocks.
Okay.
And then now she's on a hard stop again. When I'm at my parents'
it's not.
stay. Luna, stay.
You don't have a different collar?
I have another one, but it's at home, and then I have
This one's way too loose.
Hi, I'm Jess with Canine Perspective, and we're back with another video. This is a new type of video. This is a training highlight reel starring Luna, who's a 6-month-old Great Pyrenees mix, who's very nervous, very flighty, and doesn't like to walk in new environments or like leave the car. As you saw in the consultation, you saw kind of like a quick little synopsis of what she's about. And right now, behind me, you see the dog owner kind of going back and forth, and I'm coaching her, and we're actually training Luna with the e-collar right now, okay? And you can see how she's kind of forging ahead and kind of pulling all over the place because she's very flighty, she's very nervous. So because the e-collar is a stressor, it's really building up those nerves and causing her to kind of go into a panic mode. But in order for us to teach anything, we have to work the dog through panic mode to help their nerves settle and to start teaching the brain on what it needs to do instead of letting it give in to the panic. Here you see her kind of scattering all over the place because we got kids, strollers, families walking by and stuff. And this is a very busy scenario. So we train at Oz Park, which is the busiest park in Chicago. Everything is there: kids, bikes, rollerbladers, strollers, skateboarders, other dogs, dogs off leash, you know, little people, like people throwing little parties and stuff like that. So there's a lot of craziness there. So the real world is 0 to 100 compared to what the inside of the home is and what outside entails, right? So if the owner can do it at Oz Park, anywhere else should be easy peasy, which is specifically why we chose to work at that park. Plenty of space to work, plenty of shade to take cover from the sun, plus lots of stuff going on. So when the owner leaves, because this is all verbal instruction, I'm not touching the dog now, it's all verbal instruction. When the owner leaves, they have a very good foundation to go home and apply this realistically, okay? So now, behind me, you can see Luna start to dial down. She's walking with her handler now. She's not pulling all over the place because we worked her through panic mode, we worked her through flight mode, and now she's thinking like, okay, those aren't options. What's my option? The option is to keep moving, pay attention to the handler, stick to their side, and be calm, okay? So this is how we build confidence in a dog. This is how we teach a dog how to handle real life, is we expose them to it, and we have a tool that allows us to direct them and communicate with them that they don't need to act out in certain ways, you know, because we don't want her getting off leash and running away. We want to make sure that she's nice and passive and doesn't feel like she has to. So we had one class, and now this is the start of the second class. At the start of the second class, I always do a review. I'll ask the owner, show me what you've been doing, show me what you've been practicing, so that I make sure that they're practicing the techniques correctly and we didn't like misconstrue anything. And you can see Luna is much, much better. Complete 180 from where she was the first class, where she was spazzing out all over the place. And she's got a completely slack leash, walking right beside her handler. You can see her looking at her handler, even kind of checking in and stuff. This is exactly what we want to see for the second class, and we see it all the time because of remote collar. It makes things so easy. And it's not because we're lazy, it's because I'm dealing with a dog owner, not a dog trainer. They don't have the time to develop all these skill sets that really don't even work to try to help their dog. That's why we don't do food. This is why I don't do prong collar. Even though a prong collar is an effective tool for a case like this, it's too nuanced in order for her to try to use it to teach her dog. And it's also too confrontational because of all the yanking and stuff. With e-collar, completely non-confrontational. We can match the dog's stress levels and mental state with power, as long as we have the correct e-collar fitted to the dog. It gives us so much control, means of communication that's very simple for the dog owner to understand, and is also very reliable. Again, we get up to off-leash reliability with this tool. So because she did her homework, Luna is much more passive, because e-collar calms dogs down. Discipline calms dogs down, but you have to know how to do it correctly. And that's why I made my heel video a couple weeks ago. It was what is the heel command and how do you apply it? And I noted that it can help, it helps with reactivity and just like leash pulling, but it also helps with dogs that have behavioral issues. In this case with Luna, she has that nervousness, and it's helped her dial down that nervousness and think through things and not be so panicky when she goes under stress. So now we're teaching Luna a new thing. We're teaching Luna to automatically sit when her owner comes to a stop. And you can see her start to scatter a bit. That's the nervousness kicking in, because now we're covering a new topic. She's like, I don't know what to do here. So again, her first instinct, flight or get super nervous, right? So we got to work her through it. And here I make it simple for the dog. I don't care about perfection. I don't care about exact positioning. We're in behavioral mode. I care that the dog works through the nervousness and puts their butt down. And once the dog puts their butt down, they go, oh, everything went away. They calm down. They go, that's all it was? Oh, that wasn't so bad. And we keep repeating that until it gets easier and easier. When people see their dogs go under stress, they tend to put a bubble around them. They tend to shelter them, and it doesn't help them. Okay, it does not help dogs get more confident. It does not help them how to handle stress. In order for a dog to learn how to handle stress, they have to go through it and learn how to process it, okay? So just like with people, if you're not used to handling stress, you're gonna be very bad in stressful situations. So by working her through this stuff, we're building her confidence and teaching her, you don't have to be so flighty. It's gonna be okay. Just do this when you feel this. And that's what makes our obedience reliable. And here you may have just seen Luna sit very easily, no tension, very relaxed, just put her butt down like, oh, okay, I'm getting this now. But it takes going through those little patches of rough spots, okay? This is now the end of the second session, okay? So again, this was a week in between, complete verbal instruction. I have not touched Luna other than adjusting her collar to help the owner out, but the owner's done 100% of the training so far, okay? I've not done anything with this dog. And now she's walking spot on with her. There's a couple little mistakes that she makes, which is normal, especially at this phase of training, but she's about 95% there. So first class, we worked on getting Luna to settle those nerves, how to work through stress, how to think through stress and all that stuff. Pay attention to the handler, not to freak out, handling pressure. And then now the second class, all that was great. Now we go to teaching the handler leg movements. How do you turn left? How do you pivot to the right? How do you turn right? Coming to a stop, cueing the verbal heel command, so that we have all this communication that lets Luna know what the handler is doing. But unless we have Luna's full attention, she's not going to catch those cues. We're going to get very sloppy obedience, okay? So e-collar, the best training tool ever. You get off-leash control. It's easy for the handler. Again, this is all verbal instruction. Now, due to COVID, all my clients are verbal instruction, and everybody is getting great results because e-collar is so effective, and the method that I use is in my opinion, the best method. There's no need for all this extra stuff. There's no need for treats and food and toys and running around trying to be excited, getting your dog's attention or anything like that. It's simply leash, dog, remote, and train. Okay, and it's applicable in a realistic setting, in the real world from day one. You just got to do your homework and you have to practice. So I'm very happy that we got this case. This kind of displays, this does display just the effectiveness that e-collar has on dogs with behavioral issues, which is specifically why I made that video about the heel command and how it helps, and which is why it's almost always the first thing that we teach, because it addresses so many behavioral issues like reactivity, nervousness, fear, anxiety, overstimulation, and all that stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and you can check out Luna's videos on my YouTube channel. Just search Luna. I'm Jesse with Canine Perspective. Thank you for watching.